So originally Tate says women are to blame, Hamza says men are to blame, but I'm saying none of them are to blame. But rather it's the group of people above them both that's to blame. This is the only video you'll need to know why men are getting weaker. It's summed up into 3 things. Number 1 is that they don't really have a real father figure, even if they have a father. This usually leads to people looking for an online father figure who don't really care about them other than to monetize them. And some also choose to game or join communities on stuff like Discord just to create a fake persona. Pretty much to make themselves feel better in the virtual world, to compensate what they don't have in the real world. A proper father figure will give the child the basic principles of life and install it into them while they're young. There's a famous quote by Aristotle that goes something like this: "Give me a child until he's 7 and I'll show you the man." The first 7 years of a child is when they are programmed, since the subconscious mind is completely open. Everything they see, hear and learn, they take in completely, right into the mind. It goes deep into the subconscious mind. So a good upbringing will help them in the long run as a man, but most people never get that. So they have to reprogram themselves, which takes a long while. And most are not willing to do it since it's painful and takes a long time. Tate made a tweet about how all these movements like feminism, liberalism, single parents will completely vanish if women obeyed their fathers. Hamza then replied to the tweet saying he agrees, but the responsibility is all on the men. But under both their tweets, I said this: agreed, but they killed off the real men during World War I and World War II. So what was left were the women and kids by themselves to get influenced by the government in hopes of replacing the father and having guidance. So as you can see, there's layers and layers. It goes deep every time. So originally Tate says women are to blame, Hamza says men are to blame, but I'm saying none of them are to blame. But rather it's the group of people above them both that's to blame. The second point for why men are getting weaker is pretty much common sense. But it's completely underrated and I don't think people put much thought into it or know how impactful this actually is. It's diet. It's how you eat, and if you want to go more complex than that, it's also how you feed your mind. Diet of the physical body and the mind. Giving a child the wrong diet since a kid is just going to completely mess up his mind. The first few years, they should literally be fed hyper quality foods, as high as possible. This gets their body and neurons actually working properly, rather than it being manipulated and not working at its full capacity. I'm sure you know there's countless other benefits when it comes to diet for the body, and also for the mind. You gotta be aware of your thoughts and keep control of it. Since as the saying goes, your thoughts becomes your words becomes your feelings, that turns to actions, and actions become your reality. It's your new identity. I could make a whole topic on just both these topics alone. And for the third point why men are getting weaker, it's comfortability. If you're comfortable your whole life and you haven't really tried new things, then how are you supposed to evolve? How are you supposed to grow as a person? You have to understand hardship, overcome them, and learn new skills, which helps with socializing, communications, and networking. I'll keep this video short since the rest of the benefits of being uncomfortable is pretty much also self-explanatory. So don't fall for gurus when they tell you men or women are the issue, when it's clear as day there's a group above us creating all this and causing a division, making us believe it's as simple as having 2 options, black and white. But we forget there's a spectrum of colors in between, which is known as grey. Remember though, it's still our responsibility to fix what we caused ourselves.